Welcome, ladies, to the Women Connects Disrupting Data Center Space series, is what I've decided to call it. Together today from Adani Connects and Edge Connects, let's explore why and what we can do to improve and encourage women into the data center space and why it's everyone's responsibility to raise awareness. The Uptime Institute found that 1 in 4 data center operators don't have women as part of their design, build, and operational staff. It also states by 2025, it will take more than 2.3 million people to run the world's data center space. So disrupting this space with more gender diversity has to be all our mission on this call today. For the explosion of digital infrastructure, I don't think has even tipped the iceberg yet. I mean, in India alone, you've got a humongous journey ahead of you, which we're all delighted to be part of. And so I know you have plenty of women within the group already. So let's just get that going. So I'm going to dive straight in with Mahima. Why aren't there more women in the data center industry?
Okay, that's quite an apt question in today's generation. There is a generic understanding within women communities that data centers are more like civil-focused genres of technology. And hence, with that comes the challenges of labor-intensive work environment. Now, there is a need for more education and awareness from an early stage regarding various non-civil aspects that women can pursue, like design engineering, electrical and mechanical monitoring, technical supply chain, solution architects, NOC and SOC engineers, telecom network security engineers, project managers, technical marketing, technical sales and pre-sales, accounts, bids, and commercials. These are the building blocks which comprise the data center industry as a whole, and where data centers are the perfect bridge between telecom and IT, brought together to cater a vast amount of data. And we all know that data is the next gen of IT boom.
That is a lot of roles, wouldn't you say, that people could, get into? And it's not just, at my eyes, it's not just about, filling the gaps with engineers and construction, whilst that's really important. What I try and get across is the industry is open to every single job role going, basically. So just because you might leave with a finance degree or a marketing degree, I always say, always consider the data center industry, because we need everybody. And it's not just a female skills gap, it's everyone, anyone and everyone. We need you in our industry. As women, want more women, because that brings the rich tapestry to the industry. But as a whole, the message is that the data center industry needs you.
Yes.
So Suzanne, I know you're quite passionate and have talked about in the past about the AI explosion, as I call it, which I don't even know if I can get my head around it just now. We just had a big meeting on Friday as a leadership team about the relevance and the impact of AI and the data into our space. Why is it important for you to see women in the tech industry, and particularly important for women to get into coding? Because behind the scenes of AI is all about coding and data. So why do you think, why is it important to you?
You touched on a couple of things. I mean, adding our touch or adding to the tapestry, right? But I don't think it could be summarized any better than in an interview I saw David Letterman on his first, exit from the late night and entering into his own series on Netflix. His first guest was Melinda Gates. Melinda Gates, as we all know, is incredibly passionate about women in computer sciences. And, he candidly asked, why? What's the big deal? And she said, if our next big explosion, now this is years back, if our next big explosion is AI, who's writing the code for AI today? And if it's all men, we're allowing ourselves to be written out of the future. That, if nothing else, it just kind of taps on your door and says, here's your calling and you need to get involved.
Yeah, 100%. And with groups like we're in now, and the variety of experience and ages that represent us even on this call right now, it goes back to that mission of ensuring we are educating, mentoring, talking about our industry, because we're just a cog in the wheel of AI, but everybody needs that experience and that knowledge, because it's all going to end up in a data center. So I always say be part of our industry. So moving on to women in industry as a whole, and particularly in leadership roles. Rena, you're the VP of HR over at Adani Connects with many, many years of experience. What over the years have you seen as the most significant barrier of females in leadership positions?
So Angela, I've of course seen a stereotypic approach of, kind of hiring even women employees. So I would put this into three buckets. One is, of course, workplace barrier. Second is, of course, society barrier. And third, of course, is the individual barrier. So let me start with the first one, called as a workplace barrier. I've been in a lot of, a chairperson of diversity and inclusion, whereas an organization, we wanted to improve on the women diverse workforce. And I clearly remember that while doing that, while we were making the approach of that, we clearly bifurcated the kind of a work that a women employee can do while we were talking about bringing in diverse workforce. So that itself is the biggest, a barrier to me in workplace, where we should not bifurcate or we should not demarcate saying so and so, jobs can only be done by women. So that is what is called workforce barrier, right? Second, I would of course say about society barrier, where it has already been defined, saying that women are meant to be taking care of home front. Men are supposed to go out and look for a job and get the financial stability, right? And today's world also, when a woman has to work soon after their marriage, they will have to convince a lot of people in the family front, the society front, before they actually even apply for a job. So of course there is a society barrier which comes in force. Third is, of course, the individual barrier. So when there is opportunities given to women employees, I've seen that they kind of stop back to think, whether I will be able to perform this particular role or not, right? And of course, there is a lot of work-life balance that a women employee has to do, and I've personally seen that as well in my career, and of course, all the people who I meet, right? So I think these are the three major barriers that a women employee has to overcome.
I mean, your role is to progress the women in your organization from wherever they are today to wherever they want to go and achieve. And I guess this is specific to data centers, but let's keep it at that, because that's what we're all passionate about. What are you helping the women in Adani Connects do to get to the position that they're striving to get towards?
Right, they'll have to talk about their success stories. While we're talking about success stories, what happens with the young women, employees are they also feel that what they're going through is nothing different from, what we have gone through, right? So the acceptance, the expectations are, set right. And in Adani Connects, of course, we believe in giving a right ecosystem for the young leaders to perform. For that, of course, we are creating a lot of awareness in terms of even diversity and inclusion, not only for women employees, but also for men. The reason is that many a times they, the diverse as a different gender do not know how they need to behave or how they need to treat a different, gender at all. So those kind of awareness, of course, we are creating, and we are trying to do that.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, isn't it? Where we shouldn't really actually ever be having these kind of conversations about, gender diversity, and that women are different to men. Yes, Absolutely. They are, but we shouldn't be thinking like, we shouldn't be thinking about women in the workplace. We should just be thinking about our skills and experiences in the work set and how we work together to achieve that one goal that we're all trying to achieve. So it's really interesting, Rena. Alison and Pallavi, you're from Edge Connects. I think you're fairly new into the data center industry as a whole. What was your drive, and what was your resilience and confidence of coming into this industry? Or was it just a matter of, this is a fantastic industry, I just need to be in it, or I love EdgeConneX and I need to work for EdgeConneX? So what were the drivers that's built your confidence and resilience in this industry?
So in past careers, I haven't had a network where I was able to get the right career advice. So over the years, I've really worked on having not only female champions, but male champions as well. And so when it came for me to make a change, I consulted them, got their ideas on and their take on the space. And it was overwhelmingly, this is a space you need to be in. This is a growing space. It's a resilient space. And when I met the leaders of EdgeConneX, I immediately knew that this was a company I wanted to work for because of their positive outlook, their focus on lifelong learning, and knowing that I would be able to come in and have a great support group from the beginning. And Women Connects has really solidified that for me.
And look where you've grown, Alison. I mean, I've just seen you come in, one person managing a massive workload, quite a demanding workload. And you've just come in, you've built a team, you've just completely flourished in the last couple of years. So I'm really impressed by you, Alison, and what you do at EdgeConneX. And definitely you should be one of those mentors when we talk about mentors later on, because you've grown massively. Pallavi, what about you? You weren't from a data center background either, and have come in fresh off the cuff and impressed us with your amazing support and management of Asia Pac and all of the different regions and cultures and challenges. You've just embraced that massively.
Oh, thanks, Angela. I echo very much Alison's words. When I joined EdgeConneX, or when I was thinking about EdgeConneX, I just thought about it as an industry, a growing industry, somewhere that I really want to be. And then when I met people here, the support and connection, that was really important. And this was a place where I knew we could grow, learn together. And to me, resilience, I think of resilience as like the 3 C's: confidence, competence, and connection. And we all support each other, we do things together, we learn, grow together. That's confidence and competence. But the connection part, where all of us have been talking about, and what Alison also echoed, it's the Women Connects, where forums like these, where we can come together, we can share our challenges, we can learn from each other, mentor each other, celebrate our successes. That's so important and essential. And this is also what Reena mentioned. We will have women leaders to share their challenges, to share their paths and journey, and provide alternative ways where young women leaders can grow too. So this to me is very important and amazing about both our companies.
Great. And Pragati, you are a senior engineer, one of the engineers on our call today. So you're from the technical side, and presumably you've come through education with a STEM background. And why do you think, Pragati, there's not more female engineers? What's the barriers?
Okay, the barrier which I see from my perspective is like, people think like construction sites are hard, or the weather, like females are not, kind of delicate, they cannot handle that kind of situations, they are not able to handle people around themselves, they won't be able to speak up.
Focusing on the different roles within the data center industry, and again, sales is quite a male dominated teams. How do you fare, and what are your tactics? I think not necessarily with working with other males, is how do you stand out in a sales environment, and what advice do you give to women that are thinking about a sales as career? We'll start with you, Mahima.
Known worldwide to be great multitaskers, epitome of multitasking, and with that comes the different kinds of confidence, resilience, grit, as well as compassion, work-life balance, and women very well know how to take the entire team or the unit along. They do it day in and day out in their lives, and it's very easy for them to bring the same values on board onto their roles in a professional environment. And with that, I can narrow it down to when we come to sales. Sales is more importantly about people and connections, which women are really flawless about making their connects, bringing joy into the other person's face when they talk to them, or having a Pandora's box of topics to talk about. And when we spin the web around, it is something that eventually and gradually works in their favor to deliver the results and targets in time.
I agree. We're good at talking. I think Mahima is what you're saying.
Yes.
We can pull anything out of our bag to have that conversation, because it's all about relationships, isn't it? Sales.
Absolutely.
You can have all the best tools in the world, but if you don't have a really good way to have a relationship with someone, then you kind of need to maybe think about a different career. So I know you're very successful, as are you, Suzanne.
As in, I have joined Zani Connects, after which I've realized there are so many people out there who don't know about data center industry at all, even though it's evolving and growing multifold every day. So that is why you need marketing, because we just do not market Adani Connects, we are marketing data center industry completely. And that's honestly, that's where you want more women, because uh, right now marketing at Adani Connects is 3-member women team, and we have males also. But oh my god, the bonding that we have and the ideas that come out of our minds, sometimes we are also shocked that, oh, we thought of this, like this, that's something new that we gotten. And this industry really is very technical for a person to understand in the first go. My I'll start from my house. It was very difficult for me to explain to my parents what is a data center, what is a data center, what is my job, what does my company do where I work for. So it's not easy. That's where marketing comes at its play.
But you made an amazing film on that as well, by the way,
Yeah.
which I mean, the filmmakers of that were just fantastic. I was actually quite jealous. Like, we need to make a film like this, but it's very important to you, isn't it? Community and family values are very important, that they understand what you do, you know, let their children go off to do and what you do for jobs. So it's a fantastic video. So maybe we'll link that in at the end so people can watch that as well. But yeah, fantastic. So just going into sort of the awareness piece, you know, if you've got external people watching this, what do we need to improve as a group of strong women? And there's about another 85 of us in Women Connects now. So we've got a very, very strong group with very strong opinions and experiences. What's the one thing we should do to raise awareness? We'll maybe go round the table on this. Rena, what's the one thing we should be doing tomorrow to raise awareness?
So, Angela, I would definitely say Adani Connects and Edge Connects is an organization which is pretty open to having women employees in. Now, that is something which we will have to pitch in our marketing, lines that we actually do, right? So, life at Adani Connects and Edge Connects, to tell the world that we are inviting and welcoming you with an open arms, right? And that's the only one source where we can actually break the, unconscious biasness or a stereotyping where the organization feels that women employees are not invited anywhere. So I think Adani Connects for me has been a great experience. I have been respected by my superiors, by my peers, by my juniors. It's all about self-feeling being inclusive, wanting to be collaborative. And as rightly mentioned by Mahima and team, saying that yes, we are good at bringing the whole team together, because that's there in us. We bring families together, we bring the teams together. So we are well known, we women are well known for that. I think we should very openly say that we are more collaborative and we are welcoming women with open arms.
Yeah, I think one of our big messages at Edge Connects, and I'm sure it's the same at Adani Connects, is the people. If we look after our people, everything else slots in and flows. If you're happy at work then and you're fulfilled, then
Yes.
that will ooze through into whether you're looking after a customer or whether you're on the finance side, budgeting, or you're in marketing like me, creating crazy brilliant videos like Priyanshi and your team do, you know, because you're so passionate and happy in your role. And that should be your number one thing in life, because you spend a lot of time at work. That kind of oozes out into our customers, and our customers always comment on how good we are to work with, how agile we are. So the fact that we can support the people within the organization that ultimately, you know, makes our customers happy, then our job is done. Alison, what's the one thing that people should go away with?
You know, Angela, you had really kind words to say to me earlier, and I think that's part of it. I think from a more grassroots standpoint, it's championing other women that are already in the industry. It's mentoring those below us. It's showing, it's being a role model to show that this is a great industry to be in and to help other women grow in the industry. And I think once you create that growth, then you're going to have younger people when they come out of school really want to be part of this industry and what we've created here.
Absolutely agree.
Angela, what I think that women can bring onto the table with Adani Connects and Edge Connects and the data center industry as a whole is a plethora of knowledge, of team building spirit, of different kinds of competition with kindness that women normally follow, and they grow up with those values other on different aspects, and pounding the high table for each other's growth without any ego or competition or any challenges. That is something that women show from a very early age, and they can actually teach the entire world about how to follow it. How we help each other's crown without telling the world. We can actually make the men learn something from us. And women are a complete leader package from every aspect, whether it is the courage that they bring in at their workspace, fighting hard against all odds, or the honesty because they just can't spin the web of lies, or the work-life balance, managing everything from morning till the day ends, the empathy, the teamwork, the social impact, because of, yes, definitely women are butterflies, and the decisive action that they bring into the leadership. So that is something that that calls for to say that women are a leader package and we all are one.
Nice. Pragati?
Yes, Angela, I really agree with Mahima's point. Thank you so much for that. And from my side, I would like to say that we are in a data center that is challenging, critical, and modifying every day. We are having different kind of technology which is getting enter in different kind of fields. So basically, we are having number of opinions day to day that we deal for, that we discuss with our people around us. So we need to support, we need to encourage, and the Adani Connects or Edge Connects, women are always there. We share our own mind.
Nice. Okay, I would like to end on a practical thing. So people that are watching this, they think about what the so what. So for me, my practical advice would be for anybody that's thinking about coming into the data center industry, whether you're a STEM person or you're a back to work person, or I've left school, but I just want to start in an internship. Really do your research. The concept of the data center industry isn't complicated. So do your research, learn about it, maybe get some qualifications in the IT, but not necessary. Reach out to your contacts, look at who's in your network potentially on LinkedIn, and be brave. Just be brave. Just come in. And I think even if you haven't got all the experience in the world, join us. Anybody else got a practical tip that people should go away with if they're listening to this?
Yeah, Angela, to echo some of your sentiments, I would say just have the confidence to know that, you know, you can go in and you can do anything that you put your mind to. And also that, you know, changing industries shouldn't be scary. You have to have the confidence that, you know, you can do your best wherever you work. And it doesn't just have to be in one place or another.
Agree.
Also, I would like to add to it that technical industries are always emerging. There is no kind of stoppage. We learn everything, like new things, and we emerge. There is a lot of opportunity for us globally in data center or any of the technical industry.
Your one message to all the women out there would definitely be that we should first of all be proud to be women, and we are unstoppable. We can reach heights any moment, any time that we want to. All that we need to have is the confidence on ourselves that we can be there.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Angela, because that's exactly what was going through my head. I've never been in an environment with so many allies, right? Whether it's who I report into or even going to industry meetings where people are really so open about inviting you in, about helping you learn and being a part of that.
It's a special industry.
I echo that.
Yeah, I echo that, you know, not coming from a data center industry and then joining this industry, to have people around me, you know, whether they're technical or non-technical, to take the time to share their knowledge, men and women, it's amazing.
What I see in the data center industry, though we are very less women now, I do vision that in few years we will be multifold. And what women need is to see women succeed. And I'm glad that I'm surrounded by such powerful women who do take and use their power to praise, celebrate, and push each other up.
I agree. So we've got a
I would
couple
just
more
want to
minutes.
add one thing, like how Angela said that, you know, you feel more confident. You've never been around so many allies. Exactly what I was just about to add to Mahima's point. Then not just women, like Mahima has seen empowered women around us. I have seen men supporting, boosting your confidence, and just I have never been afraid to share my idea or share my opinion about anything, because that's the kind of environment that I've received.
As I'm also
Fantastic.
working on a construction site, we also face some kind of hard times, like problematic issues that we deal. But I'm happy that my seniors around us, me and my teammate, they always support us.
Thank you for disrupting data center space. I think we should keep this conversation going, because just this call today is definitely a disruptor, and we are part of that. And we should continue on conversations. The next series, maybe we'll hone in on some real good deep diving on practical ways of supporting people into the industry.